final game. It's important for 3 clubs. It's important for us. There's nothing else we can do, really, other than if we can fix the result before we go. The players know what's required. We know what's required. We've got to go there to Leicester and try and win the game. If we win the game...
Come on, eh? All the best, eh, boys?
Well, it doesn't really matter what anybody else does then at that stage. If we lose the game or we draw, then we are, to some extent, dependent upon what the other teams do.
They're not as big as I thought they were going to be. Yeah, they're going to have Jamesy, Oldfield, possibly Palliser.
All right, boys. Now, you don't need me to say too much today. You know what's required. Let's go out to look to win the game. We don't have to win it in the first few minutes. Be nice and sensible. Let's impose our own authority on the game. You've done it brilliantly all the season, so there's no reason why you can't go out today. Irrespective of what happens, if you give me today a performance like you had the other night, with attitude, commitment and character, I'll settle for that, because that's what you've given me most of the season. OK, so let's keep our standards. That's the standard we set at West Brom on the opening day of the season. Let's take it there today. If we get the rub of the green, we're on our way. You, if you're shitting yourself, just imagine what me and Berg are doing. Come on! Come on, boys!
Come on. Let's go, mate. Come on!
Well, son, it's the either a loan from the HFS or it's the bank manager's happy. Keep him happy. Good luck. See you later. Cheers, son.
Sheffield United fans have made their way down the M1 today for what they hope will be the afternoon that sees their team lift the Second Division Championship. The team that will try to do it shows no changes from the 0-0 draw at Blackburn in midweek. Chris Wilder continues at centre-half for Paul Stancliffe, who on his 32nd birthday hasn't recovered from a calf strain. For Leicester City, Mark North and Tony James form a new centre-back partnership. North once of Grimsby, Tony James born in Sheffield. Up front, David Kelly with 7 goals in 9 games is in great form. This afternoon's referee is Vic Callow from Solihull, 11 years on the Football League list. And it's Tony Agana for Sheffield United who get the final match of the 46-game league season underway. And already Sheffield United with the first early attack, as they like to do, but Martin Hodge, once of Sheffield Wednesday, was there collecting the ball. And Mark North, the former Grimsby Town player, is playing at centre-back for Leicester for the first time in his life, but David Pleat, his manager, says he's quite confident he can cope with it. Oldfield won the header, and Wilder was covering well. Nice flick there from Kelly, and there may be chances here for Tommy Wright. Didn't hit it right. Challenge came in. Tommy Wright won something more than a corner. Gary Mills was in there, arguing with the referee. And they have a free kick. It's about a yard outside the penalty area, and early moments of danger that Simon Tracy could well have done without as he defends that goal, organising the wall. So, they've clearly got something specific worked out for this of Leicester City. 5 in the wall. Maybe tap back from McAllister. McAllister again, it's deflected and inches wide. less than a foot wide, I think, from Gally McArris, who strikes the ball particularly well. And he did so on that occasion. The ball laid back to him. And it hit somebody, I think it hit Brian Deane, just wide. And Deane was beaten in the air there by Tony James, and it's another corner. And Brian Deane so far not having the most successful times as he tries to help out his defence. And again Deane was beaten in the air by Tony James. Tony James is 23 next month, and just 2 years ago he was earning his money in Sheffield Steelworks, playing for Gainsborough. He's come a long way. Hopkins' path back to the goalkeeper was cut off there by Wood. And it might just provide something for Sheffield. For Bryson, no real power, didn't probably get balanced over the shot, Ian Bryson, but he scored 2 last Saturday from just that sort of position. Gary McAllister poised over the free kick. James tussling for it and still going for it. Has not very effectively cleared. A chance here and a fine goal, brilliantly struck by Gary Mills. Well, he's already won the Leicester City Goal of the Season award. I don't know what that one was like, but this one this afternoon would take some beating. Gary Mills is the Supporters Club Player of the Year, and he deserves it for this shot alone, very nearly. Terrific half volley. Tracy, I think, just got a hand to it. If he did, it would have stung, but he couldn't keep it out of the nets, and Sheffield United are a goal down in their most important afternoon of the season.
The extra man is Brian Laws, impeded by King. Well, the Wednesday supporters ball disappointment to that decision, but it was a clear-cut one. Well, Pearce is the favourite here, although Nigel Clough might have a say. And Gary Parker is the third player around the ball for Forest. In fact, Clough's gone away now. And here goes Pearce. Through the wall, into the corner. And that is disastrous for Sheffield Wednesday. Chris Turner saw it late. And there's an interesting point here, because there was some thinking from Ron Atkinson about putting an extra player on the line to deal with Pearce to help the goalkeeper out. Carlton Palmer had a look to see whether the job should be his, which he is designated for. He decided not to do it, but really he wouldn't have been able to stop that one. Well, there's been so much planning with Sheffield Wednesday this week, how to deal with the danger from Stuart Pearce free kicks. But the theory didn't come up to scratch when it was called upon.
But Kelly and Oldfield are looking sharp and eager for action this afternoon, the two blonde strikers for Leicester City, and they may prove quite a handful for the Sheffield United defence, as indeed they are already doing. James. Mocklin killing it in. There's Oldfield in there, and Simon Tracy. I think one or two Hearts missed a beat there, but he got hold of it. Dean and Agana going for the same ball, and North very coolly back to Hodge. Forward by Booker for Agana. James sticking to him like a limpet. Ian Bryson with the first chance maybe to run this afternoon. In for a Garner, and Wood's in there, and Paul Wood! 1-1. That's what they came for. Third goal for Paul Wood since he arrived from Brighton. A reward for determination. He just never stopped. £90,000 from Brighton, worth every penny. Bit of space for McAllister. Away by Hill. Not great for Wood, and it does, and nicely played for Brian Deane. Now then, he's got a Garner making ground inside the penalty area. Aim for a Garner, and Garner is inches away. Here's Rostron, well blocked by the goalkeeper. Bryson with a chance. Hit it well, off the line. A Garner still fighting for it. Will it go in? For Deane. It has for Brian Deane. It seemed it would never go in. They kept going, and finally Brian Deane with his 8th goal in 11 games. And we have the kind of pitch invasion we could well have done without. Let's watch it again. It seemed the ball would never go in. Brian Deane making great ground. It was well played for a Garner. The goalkeeper didn't really hold it. Rostron was in there. It fell for Bryson. Bryson hit it well, off the line. A Garner's in there again. And finally Brian Deane. I reckon they had about 8 attempts at that. When Martin Hodge launched himself for that first ball that a Garner was chasing, he may well have taken a knock there. Let's just see again, if we can, where Martin Hodge took his knock. The collision there, and it may just be that a knee caught him quite accidentally. And Martin Hodge being led away, at least for the moment, and I'm sure that he would like to carry on, but the Leicester officials want to be absolutely certain that he's able to. Back in their own half, Mark Morris and Wilf Rostron just trying to make sure that their concentration isn't affected by this considerable delay. So Mark North prepares for his second new position of the afternoon. It's possible he may have played the odd few minutes before in goal, but certainly he now has to face 3/4 of a match, having started the match in what was a new position as centre-back. Wood up with Paris, and Paris won it. Martin Hodge there, with his back to us, is still having treatment, still hoping that he'll be fit to resume, but there's clearly some concern about that. Corner to Sheffield United, then taken by Rostron. Oh, it missed everybody, and North didn't hold it, and it was off the line by Mocklin, I think, from Agana. Mark North couldn't hold it, understandably so. Very difficult job being asked of him. Let's watch it again. Corner floated in by Rostron. Couldn't hold it. Agana takes the shot at it, and off the line by Mocklin. Now North's got to face it all again. Rostron, and the header over the top from Bryson. Ian Bryson would be the first to tell you that heading isn't his speciality. And it would appear that Mark North's ordeal as a goalkeeper may be over. He now has to face the ordeal of being a centre-back again, and Martin Hodge, the good news, is fit to resume.
Pearson got a foot in for Wednesday. Hurst held it up beautifully. And now Sheridan. Atkinson trying to make a decoy move, perhaps so that Sheridan could shoot. Hurst does shoot. Oh, when you needed a stroke of luck, Sheffield Wednesday couldn't get it for Hurst. Oh, not the second time either. First the post, then the goalkeeper. And David Hurst, the frustrated forward. Well, Sheridan had made the initial surge. No way through for him, but Hurst was onto the loose ball in a flash. Beat Sutton out off the post, and then Forrest got in a tangle here when they should have cleared it, really, to allow Hurst a second chance from much closer in. This time Sutton did his job. Well, there's nothing he can do about it until he talks to them at half-time, really, for all the shouting and cajoling and the urging. Francis looked up and saw Pearce, and then Gaynor. That's his forte, crossing on the run, and Worthington needed a better first touch than that. That was the old-style Trevor Francis in wide positions then. Hurst up! Well, the flurry around Sutton's goal continues, without bringing Sheffield Wednesday any reward as yet. Jemson and Clough going for the same ball, and in the end both pulled out because Pearson made sure it was his first time. He had to go again. Sheridan. Atkinson prepared to take on Pearce. And look at that for acceleration. Brilliant work from Atkinson. Francis coming in. Sheridan hits it. Well, when Francis moved to meet the cross, which was splendidly delivered on the run by Dalian Atkinson, you sensed that that might be it for Sheffield Wednesday. The equaliser was there. But Trevor Francis hasn't had too many opportunities since he linked up with Ron Atkinson. He did have more perhaps in the last game at Charlton than he'd had in his previous games put together in a blue and white striped shirt. But look at Atkinson go here. Dalian Atkinson, that is. And Francis, with that intuition in the centre, got into the right place, but the header was blocked. Well, the news they want comes from Derby County's baseball ground. They want to hear that Luton are losing.
It's Barnes looking for Agana. There was a roar of anticipation then from the Sheffield United fans as the ball got near Agana. Oldfield from McAllister, and out to Tommy Wright, who's had a quiet time of it, and one of the smallest men on the field just couldn't quite grow enough for that. Chris Wilder will take the throw. Still only 22. Big afternoon this for him. Probably the biggest of his life. Forward by Morris. Laughlin beat Bryson. And so far Martin Hodge hasn't had a serious shot to save since he came back from his injury, which will be just what his manager David Peake will have been hoping, I rather imagine. Now on Paris, control let him down and Wood was in there. And it's 2 against 2 in the penalty area if you can get it over, but North was in the way. Dean flicked for Agana, onside, 3-1. The old 1-2 that worked so often last season has worked again when it matters most at the end of this. It was back in by Wilder. Beautiful little flick from Dean. Easy. 3-1. Tony Agana's 11th goal of the season. And the first thing Martin Hodge had to do in anger after his injury was to pick the ball out of the back of the net. Well, I think if titles were won on volume of support, Sheffield United's fans are putting in a good bid in this opening 35 minutes. Dean won the header for Wood. Agana might have taken his head off if he'd had a go at it. Forward from Barnes for Agana, won by Mofton, well won. And again. First time ever from Rostron, and it's gone in! Wilf Rostron! It's all going their way. Third goal of the season for Wilf Rostron. More joy for the travelling faithful. And the oldest man on the field has struck gold. Just watch. That challenge, late and clumsy rather than malicious, I think, but nonetheless the name in the book. McAllister's free kick. Little push by Oldfield on Booker went undetected there. Leicester have a throw. Harris will leave for James. And a shot from Mark North has gone in. Well, he may be playing at the back, but the striker's instinct hasn't gone. And it's 4-2. The throw from James caused the problem. It wasn't properly cleared. Half chance, bang, 4-2. Sixth goal of the season for Mark North. He scored at Bramall Lane as well against Sheffield United, so he makes a habit of this. The referee, Mr. Callow, blows his whistle at the end of a quite extraordinary 45 minutes, almost 55 by the time we finally finish. The half-time score, just what the doctor ordered for Sheffield United. Leicester 2, Sheffield United 4.
Now, Jock, the first corner, you've gone wandering out, this just gone over your head. Your man's gone out, Oldfield's gone beyond. We'd make a change on the corners. Ellie, you'll pick up Kelly, Barnes' man. You'll pick Kelly up on the corners, OK? You'll then pick North up, the 5, OK? Yeah, Jock, you'll do the zone, OK?
Can we just sort that out as well? Like, the last one, Chris was picking up righty. There was Dino and Bob picking up with 2, and we had no zone man. If our zone gets pulled out like Jock Bryson now, Mark, you've got to be across in the hole in the 3. Do you understand? No, you don't, obviously.
We're talking the corner? Yeah. No, he's marking at a corner.
Who's he marking?
Yes, he's marking at he's at the near post with Oldfield and James, him and Deansy there.
All right.
So it's him marking with
We
Deansy.
still need a zone in there.
Yeah, Wilf's the zone, in the corner.
What, in the front?
No, Jock's the zone, near post zone. Chris is on the edge. Jock's come off on taking Illy and Mark instead of Jock. That's all the only difference. Well, right, it's on the edge of the box. Chris, you are.
We're one short.
That's all right, well, that's all right. Well, if he's out there,
What I'm saying is the 6-yard man has got to be in front. If he's out.
yeah, Jock's got to get out, yeah.
Get tight, come on, all over the top.
Who's going?
Get together.
Do your job.
We need to let...
It's important we keep our shape at the back, the 2 centre halves, because all they're doing is trying to pull you out and get the midfield runner in. So So it's important, if one of you's gone, the other one's got to be in, and the two full-backs have got to be narrow.
And as we start the second half with Leicester trailing 2-4 to Sheffield United, let us not forget that Leicester haven't lost at home since November the 18th when they were beaten here by Ipswich Town. Well, Simon Tracy still at goal, of course, for Sheffield United, but Leicester City are playing without Martin Hodge in the second half. The decision's obviously been made at half-time that Mark North should return to that position, and Martin Hodge, who looked groggy, it has to be said, is not fit to continue.
Well, Hodge did his part in the Stuart Pearce goal, just darting away, having joined the line of Sheffield Wednesday defenders and creating a gap. Here's a gap for Sheffield Wednesday, Dalian Atkinson! Well, one or two Wednesday players were wondering whether Atkinson was actually fouled, but he was being pulled back initially outside the area. He would have wanted to go on, he could go on, but faced by Sutton, he rolled it wide. Crosby. Now Clough had a look to the left to see what was on before the ball arrived with him. Here comes Pearce. It'll come back for Pearce. He's got his second. And the player Sheffield Wednesday feared the most is making this a disastrous afternoon for Ron Atkinson. He's beaten Chris Turner twice. Once from a free kick, but this very much from free-flowing play. And he rammed it up into the top corner then. Sheridan, King to the left. Sheridan bends it! Very nearly beyond the reach of Sutton, but not quite. John Sheridan has always shown a great ability to shoot from the edge of the penalty area. This really one of his best. Little shimmy, and then with the outside of the foot, it was difficult to deal with. And Forrest really fancying it now, 2 up, and prepared to attack from all quarters. Will that leave some space for Sheffield Wednesday to exploit? It might. Atkinson, Hurst, Atkinson. There's a man spare here, it's Trevor Francis. In goes Atkinson. They just cannot believe it. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest have brought on Franz Carr, who of course had 3 months here, December to March, in Sheffield Wednesday stripes, on loan from Forest. Wednesday wanted to sign him. Carr's keeping his options open. He becomes a free agent at the end of the season, and his contract with Forest is up. Well, whether the news has reached Ron Atkinson, I'm not sure, but Luton are leading at Derby. I think he's heard. There's almost silence here from the Sheffield Wednesday supporters, who are starting to comprehend the consequences of this afternoon's events at Hillsborough and at the baseball ground. Franz Carr, Hodge, Jemson, 3-0. Are Sheffield Wednesday surrendering now? Ron Atkinson has done everything to get the team right for this game, but the players have not been able to perform on the pitch to the manager's satisfaction. And Nottingham Forest, as they're quite capable of doing, switch the ball forward with chilling efficiency. And Jemson picks up the third.
Good run, 3 in the penalty area to Amat. And Tracy was there confidently enough. But Leicester very much carrying the game to Sheffield United in the second half. So far, Simon Tracy's defence holding firm. Mustn't do anything silly. Another goal might kill Leicester off. Now Agana over the top. This really would have killed the match stone dead, I think. Great turn by Tony Agana, just couldn't keep the shot down, but a good effort.
Palmer away on the left. Sheridan, Hurst wanting a return pass, but Sheridan making sure the ball stayed with Sheffield Wednesday with Nielsen. Sheridan. And Sutton has gone full length. And now Sheffield Wednesday supporters are leaping in the air. Ron Atkinson is thrilled. Not with the save from Steve Sutton, but of course with news from the baseball ground where we must assume that Derby County have equalised against Luton. Oh, how the mood has changed here. And whatever Nottingham Forest do to Sheffield Wednesday might in the end be irrelevant. Carr. Oh, has he been metaphorically let out of jail? Well, the countdown is on at both grounds. And Brian Clough wants to know what's going on as well. Great camaraderie then on the bench.
Booker, captain for the day, won that one. Whitehurst, good header, space for Wood. Ball bounced very high on the hard ground. Wood might drive it in low. Agana's in there. North at the second attempt. Certainly an afternoon he'll remember. Fitzpatrick's onside. Mason back covering. Space for Mills to cross. Away by Rostron. Spectacular by Whitehurst. Oh, now the slip by Paris, it's let Agana in. Will this seal the season? Will it go? It has gone in. And Tony Agana surely now has put Sheffield United back into the First Division after 14 years. Certainly they think so. Tony Agana, it wasn't absolutely clean, the finish. Nobody will care about that. See it again, the slip by Paris, who completely misjudged the bounce of the ball. And Agana was on his way and slipped it past North, and it bobbled just inside the post.
Sheffield Wednesday have not been able to secure First Division safety by their own efforts. They've been beaten by Nottingham Forest by 3 goals to 0. Now they must hope that there's good news from the baseball ground. Forest with Stuart Pearce, outstanding, produced a thoroughly professional performance. Sheffield Wednesday certainly missed their chances. The story of their season. Ron Atkinson, who's made himself such a popular figure in South Yorkshire, sends his players to go to some long-suffering supporters. The players here are still unaware of the final score from the baseball ground. And they stand out in the pitch, some of them, to learn their fate. So often on the last days of seasons, misinformation arrives. The wrong story spreads like wildfire in the gossip on the terraces. But my impression is that Trevor Francis and Nigel Worthington do not know. And we must wait while they wait.
sad news is Luton have won at Derby. When the supporters are told, they're too shocked to leave the ground. For Ron Atkinson, it's his worst experience in a long and successful managerial career.
I think one thing we can be absolutely sure of is that the people round the ground will want to come onto the pitch at the end. Let's hope they at least do it in a reasonably sensible way. Here's Wilder. Certainly it's been a very good-humoured afternoon, a very good-humoured crowd. Whitehurst, it's a very friendly atmosphere at the start of the game. The referee has checked his watches several times, and he's off. The final whistle goes on Sheffield United's season. The referee, I think, had planned that to make sure that the players could get off, or as many of them as possible, before the 7,000 Sheffield United fans who've come down to celebrate could invade the pitch and engulf the players. Sheffield United have won promotion, and who can say they don't deserve it? They won this match by 5 goals to 2. Division 1 now, Anfield, Old Trafford, Highbury.
That's right, I mean, nobody can take that away from us now, you know. We've worked hard all season. We've had our critics, and, you know, we've answered them in the best possible way by going up, you know. You know, nobody can say that we don't deserve to go up because...
And the crowd were terrific today, weren't they?
Unbelievable from start to finish, you know. I can feel champagne falling on me. Yeah, just totally stayed. Brilliant crowd. You know, we brought loads down, like we expected, and they helped us all along the way.
And now First Division for the first time at, what, 32?
32. First Division next year. See you later.
Leeds are the champions. Good luck to them. But over the season, we're second best in that league, and nobody can take that away from you.
And you'd like to keep your manager, wouldn't you?
Well, he's not leaving, is he? Man, I've not seen him since. You know, I don't know what's happened to him.
He's gone already.
I think the fans might have kidnapped him. You know, but it's a great feeling. I'm pleased for the fans and everybody connected with the club.
Where does this rank in your football career?
Pretty low down.
Now tell me the truth.
No, I mean obviously it's probably the best day, because when I came up with Wimbledon, it happens so quick and you don't savour it. Today I was able to savour it, and the second time round you can see it and appreciate it more. And with the fans and the support we had here today, it was tremendous.
I am delighted for Dave Bassett. I'm obviously one of the lads that's championing this cause. He's done a magnificent job at Sheffield United. Here we are today. The team's cost very little. He's got people that supposedly be misfits. They're not misfits, they're good lads, they've played there. And him and the players have done Sheffield United proud.
He'll be in for a pay rise, won't he?
He had one not long ago, but yes, we've got a job to do in the First Division, and I hope that Dave will take us all the way. I'm sure that he will. He's the best manager, I can say that without fear of contradiction, that I've ever worked with. I was a manager, and I would have liked to have been a bit like Dave Bassett, but I'm delighted for him, because he has worked wonders at Sheffield United, and he's put us back on the map in the First Division. I'm sure all our supporters are delighted with him. We hope he stays there, and when I've left Sheffield United and retired, then Dave can take my job and see him go on from there.
The critics, the press, players we've played against, and I'm totally delighted that we can turn around and say, well, up yours, because we've done it.
Playing point of view, you know, yeah. I mean, obviously with certain things, other things off the field, tragedies off the field, things like that. But in actual fact, in terms of an experience, and it ain't really sunk in yet. That's the hard part. You know, sometimes when you lose a game, losing's horrible. But when you do lose a game, sometimes you think, right, next week you can get back into it. All I do know is, like the rest of the team, I started the morning off as a First Division manager. I'm now a Second Division manager.
The last time Sheffield Wednesday were relegated from the First Division, it took 14 years to get back. Have you sort of sensed that gloom because of that the Second Division now is very, very hard to get out of?
To be fair, I haven't even give that up.
Your fans are saying you get straight back.
Well, I mean, they're brilliant. They are brilliant.
Does it?
That's what makes it worse.
Does it really affect the equation that Sheffield United have come up and you've passed them on the way down?
Well, that doesn't make it any easier, of course. I mean, full marks to them. Congratulations. They've had a great season. And, you know, I was looking... I've got to be honest, I was looking forward to the First Division next season with more optimism than ever, you know, with the big clubs, 2 more big clubs back up, and local rivalry, local derbies. We've got to try and redeem the situation as quickly as possible. I mean, the obvious thing is we'll bounce back, and this business where they say, well, sometimes you have to go down to take stock. I don't ever believe in that. We were well good enough to stay up. Nobody to blame but ourselves, me included.
There's only one David Bassett, one David Bassett. There's only one David Bassett. 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 One David Bassett.
Thanks for your support, it's been absolutely brilliant.
Get a chair,
I'm not even crying. I usually cry when I talk to the team at half time. Brilliant support. Wonderful return, as I said. I'm sure I'll remember this day, the fans will remember it, the players will remember it. An absolute wonderful ovation. The boys have done brilliant. You know, it's a team spirit, teamwork.
Sheffield United, Sheffield